It is time to meet this week's featured creature. Scott Mitchell of the Erie Zoo joins us now with little Honey. Actually, Honey's not little.
He's a pretty good sized guy.
Honey's a pretty big boy.
Yeah, he's about 3 pounds. He is a guinea pig. And the reason I brought a guinea pig today is that it was Capybara Appreciation Day a couple days ago. And I love capybaras. We've had them in the past. And they're one of my favorite animals. And so they're a close relative to the capybara.
Okay.
We have things called Patagonian cavies. And so these guys are cavies when they're in the wild as well. And they're all members of the rodent family.
Right.
So
you've got a good hold on him. I can tell he would really like to take off.
He's squiggly. Yeah, he's it's the only way I can put it. He'd go running.
Yeah.
When you take him out of his area, he does zoomies.
Right.
He loves to do zoomies.
He's got the cutest face. What do kids want to know about Honey?
Well, things like what do they eat is obviously a first thing, and generally any kind of green. So they get a lot of kale and spinach and things like that at the zoo. Something else that's unique is their incisors, their front teeth grow constantly. So they have to chew, they grind their teeth to keep their teeth ground down. And where they live, they're South American, is where they're originally from. And he's just such a sweet guy. He takes part in a lot of education programs.
Yeah. Now, do the kids say, I've got one of these at home?
Occasionally we'll hear that. More than often it's a hamster.
Yes.
That kids have because they're smaller. These guys can get pretty big.
He is big, and he's furrier than I recall guinea pigs being.
And the other part about it is you have to be careful about putting them together because you'll end up with more.
Oh, yeah.
And you have to be careful about putting males together because they'll fight. And they can get pretty darn aggressive. So you have to be a little bit careful with them.
So they're better living the single life.
They are, yes. And we have 3, and he is the best of the 3. Yes. And I don't know how the name Honey came about. I guess maybe because of his color.
He's so beautiful. Yeah. What else is going on at the Erie Zoo this weekend?
This weekend we have our snack safari. So lots of great snacks around the zoo. So not only do you get to enjoy the zoo, you get to enjoy some sweet treats as well.
Really?
So,
like what? Give us some examples.
There's some Dairy Queen will be there with some ice cream. We've got another ice cream vendor. We've got cookies, all kinds of like snacks and chips and things like that. So
the ice cream vendors are going to have good business because it's supposed to be really hot this weekend.
Crazy hot, but that's okay. The animals most of them handle it pretty well.
I was going to say, how do they handle it when you know that you've got a scorching few days? I was on vacation when we had the heat wave, and I can call it a heat wave because it legitimately was a heat wave. Yep. How did everybody handle that at the zoo?
Really well. Sometimes we have to hose animals down. Sometimes we have to hose me down.
That's a whole other story.
That's it. But we have lots of frozen treats for them. Many of them have a place to get in to get out of the heat as well. So.
Yeah. Well, it's a great weekend to head over to the Erie Zoo, and Honey is just adorable.
So sweetie. Yep.
I just want you to let him go, see where he goes, what he wants to see.
We don't want to do that. No, that would be bad. That would be bad.
We'll just close the door so he can't get too far.
Okay. Yes.
Thanks, Scott. It's always a pleasure. Thanks for joining us. And make a trip to the Erie Zoo this weekend. Lots of great things happening there this weekend and every weekend. Appreciate it, Scott.
Sure.
We're gonna